just, lack of confidence.
Thank you for coming. So, by the way, what's your name?
My name's Enzo.
Enzo. Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Brazil.
Yeah, when I met you for the first time, you suddenly talked to me in Japanese, right? I was so surprised, and at the same time, I was so impressed by your passion.
Yeah, it was really random. I was just coming out of the ice cream shop and I started learning Japanese back in the pandemic, 2020, because I was bored and I wanted something to, entertain myself. Despite a lot of people think that I started learning Japanese because of anime, it was actually the opposite. I started watching anime because I started learning Japanese. It was the other way around.
Because you wanted to be fluent in Japanese, you started watching anime. It's opposite.
Watching anime was a recommendation from my Japanese tutor at the time. He said, you should watch anime because then maybe you will pick up a little bit of vocabulary. And I was like, okay, sure. And now I'm into it. Now I watch it all the time.
That's cool, really. You started learning Japanese since pandemic started.
Yeah.
So that means maybe you have learned Japanese for a few years or something, right?
Yeah, it's around 3 years. For me, it was really hard to practice Japanese because in Brazil, at least where I lived, there weren't many Japanese people and I didn't practice in person. And online, I didn't talk to a lot of Japanese people, mostly because I didn't feel very confident talking Japanese, typing in Japanese, because it's really hard to read Japanese.
Because of the kanji, right?
Don't even get me started on those kanji. Here in Canada, I've had more opportunities than I had in Brazil, but still a little bit of lack of confidence.
Toronto has some Japanese people there, but yeah, it's kind of difficult to get opportunity to speak Japanese.
I've seen quite a few, so it's possible to practice. It's just, it's more of my lack of confidence. I'll eventually get there. I'll get there, but it's just, lack of confidence.
But you see the lack of confidence for the last time you suddenly talked to me. I think that was very good, right?
Yeah, I was like, should I go? Should I say something in Japanese? Because I heard you speaking Japanese with your friend.
Yeah, but he's from Canada though.
Yeah, I was like, why does this guy speak Japanese?
Yeah, it's kind of weird though.
Yeah, I was like, okay, maybe he's Japanese, but that was like, what?
I remember that when I talked to you for the first time, you spoke Japanese very well, right? But you said that you were lack of confidence, that you didn't get that much opportunity to speak Japanese. But how do you keep practicing Japanese, especially speaking?
Right now, I'm not practicing as much as I should. Sometimes I have bursts of motivation. I'm like, I'm gonna study Japanese, and then I pick up a notebook and then I'll start writing down, start learning kanji. So that's usually how I practice. But conversationally, it's still really hard because I don't really talk Japanese on a regular basis, speak Japanese on a really daily basis. And I used to have my tutor, of course, once a week, so I'd speak Japanese with him, but I don't have that anymore. So I should really get back to practicing it. I will eventually. One day I'll be fluent. One day.
If you got passion about learning Japanese really, really seriously again, how would you practice Japanese again? What would you do?
I think I'd try my best to gather confidence and actually start conversations with Japanese people. And I'd like to pick up more on some kanji because online, if I don't read kanji, I have to select one of them, each kanji individually, and then translate them and then figure out their meaning. Sometimes I don't know what they mean, so I have to translate the word. Mainly kanji and gathering confidence to speak to Japanese people.
Kanji and gathering confidence to speak Japanese people. The last question. Yeah, I'm making a video for Japanese English learners, but as you say, I think some of them are also lack of confidence to speak English to people from English speaking countries. Do you have any advice for them to be confident with their English?
For English, it's actually a bit easier because most people are trying to learn English because it's the language of the world, you could say. I feel like it's the same thing. Gather up confidence, do your best, talk to people. If they're learning English and if it's somebody who's also trying to learn English, try your best to speak to English with each other, and eventually you guys will gather some vocabulary, some slangs. Just gather up. 頑張って。
ありがとうございます。